actually care.
Hello everyone, my name is Griff, and today, as you can see on screen, we're going to be going over the newest version update to Dragalia Lost, version 2.9.0, which will be available to download on reset on the 23rd or the 24th, depending on your time zone. So it will be either that morning or it will be that night, depending on whatever your time is. And then the automatic update will occur the next reset, as always. And as always, when you try to play co-op, you'll have to be with people on 9.0. So if you're on 9.0 and other people haven't updated, you won't be able to play co-op with them. So make sure you and your friends are on the same version. And as always, to celebrate the update, we'll be getting a 10-fold voucher after the automatic update. So on reset on the 24th, we'll be getting that automatic update. Actually, rather 25th probably, because that's reset on the 25th is when it is for me. So. But times are on screen that you can see here. This update doesn't add too much to the game. I feel like we just got an update with 2.8, not even 2.8.1, which we literally got a week ago. But 2.8 kind of just happened, and now we have 2.9, which is happening. And it's not adding too much, but it's good to see monthly updates ever since the anniversary. But to go into what there is, we have the smoothing out the edges. So this is going to be an updated art style to the game. I'm not 100% sure if this is just the same as the previous art style of the game, or if they're backtracking a little bit on what they were saying before, or they're just giving you a new variation of the new art style. But essentially this is going to just smooth out the edges. I'm going to be honest with you, I looked at this picture for 20 minutes, and I could find maybe one or two differences. It feels to me like a find the difference in the, can you find the 10 differences in this photo from Highlight magazine. Probably dating myself there, but yeah, I don't know, it's a bit odd to me that they added this. I mean, it's a cool part of the update. I might have turned it on, I might not, but until you have the game in your hands, even with this image, it's kind of hard to see the total difference. I really want to turn it on, go into a 3D model viewer, go into the unit viewer rather, and look at them more closely and look at their details and better lights and better angles. But right now, just with this image, I can't really tell that much of a difference, but I'm pretty excited for it because I do like when they add things like this. Add different options for people to have, add accessibility for players, that kind of thing. It really does help the game feel more unique to each person who plays it. My version of the game might be different than yours. Pretty cool. Next thing is that they're going to be adding a schedule for Trials of the Mighty, which you'll be able to see on screen, allowing easier access to the important information of when they're being run. I see people complaining a lot about this, so I guess that makes sense. Also, I don't know if we ever ran Thor and Kamui at the same time, which would be between Nurse Eileen and Gala Uden. So, look forward to that happening on the 23rd. Is that actually happening this week? I actually don't know if that's happening this week. I'll have to check the news. I actually don't know. But yeah, it's pretty cool that they're showing the schedule. In any case, it's I'm hoping that they continue to update and say when things are coming at the end of the month, the start of the month. They say, hey, here's the ones that we're having this month, here's who's going to be getting them, here's the updates that you're going to need for them. I really like that system more, so I hope they continue with that system, because I feel like that's the best variation of it, and just posting this information here is going to help people a lot. Then we have enjoy an improved battle experience. Now this is a bit odd because a lot of the things here kind of get shut off by most people, but there are a few interesting details. So, more powerful attacks will cause the camera to shake more violently. Players who find this distracting can disable the camera shake in the game settings rather. I don't know what would do this. Maybe a screen wipe from the High Dragons or a screen wipe from the Agito. But those are more rare nowadays. A lot of the times it's normal attacks that are adding up and one-shotting you, or just a normal standard attack that would hit you and it would one-shot you due to some affliction on you. I guess every Agito does kind of have a charge move that they use that eventually turns into a, powerful version. But if in Tartarus, for example, when he goes in the air and does his dive, that's probably one of his, most signature moves. If he does that and the camera shakes every time, that's going to be crazy. So I might end up actually turning this off. I might not. It's one of those things where it's you don't really know what's going to happen with this. Then, Enemies will be knocked down based on the direction that the player is facing instead of the direction that they are facing when attacks connect. So this is like if you like force strike humanoid smaller enemies, they fall down sometimes. Actually, it might happen to all enemies. I don't know. I've never seen it happen to like a bird, but I know that it can happen to like an imp and the slimes and the like Imperial Onslaught. I don't know how this is more like a flavor text in my opinion. I don't know how this would help you in a battle. I don't know what direction they'd knock down with like. I guess if you want to group them up better, you know, if you want to like knock them all down into the central area and then group them up and then do an attack, that would work. But I don't really see how that would help the average player. So I guess it's more like a quality of life thing. But they have a section for quality of life, so it's interesting that they put that there. And then the visual effects that display when an attack connects will be based on the attack strength. When a Punisher type ability connects, the effect will show in black. Unique effects such as overdamage will be given priority when attempting to explain multiple effects at once. Pretty cool. The only thing about overdamage I don't like is that when there's overdamage, you get so many notifications. Like it's like damage. You know, you see all these numbers flying on your screen. So maybe they'll reduce that with this. But it is interesting to see that they're changing, you know, the attack type. So at a glance, you can actually tell what someone's doing. I actually don't know what a punish type attack connects is. Is that like Fjorm's Ice Wall? Because, you know, you're like doing a counter, or is it like a I do extra damage because you're burned and I'm have burning Punisher kind of thing? It's a little bit interesting. I don't know the exact meaning of that, so I'll have to look into that more when the update does come out next week. Then, additionally, the summon animations for certain dragons will be adjusted, and the user interface will be adjusted in various places. These two are extremely open-ended, and every time they mean something else. One time they changed where the switching worm prints button was. One time they completely redid the shop without saying. So, you know, these two things can mean anything. When the update does come out, I will, if I notice it, tell you what the actual difference is here. The quality of life improvements. If an adventurer's Dragon Drive gauge becomes empty while they're using a skill during Dragon Drive will deactivate after the skill is finished. I've never had this problem, so I don't know actually what happens if Dragon Drive goes up while a skill is going off. They just cancel Dragon Drive and cancel the ability? I don't know. And then, arguably the biggest part of the update is here, at least for me, in my opinion. Issues addressed. Originally, a single adventurer could not equip two worm prints of the same name at the same time. However, it has come to our attention that worm prints that drop from the Rise of Sinister Dominion quests have the same name but different affinities can be equipped in a single adventurer at some time, granting the stats, abilities, and affinity bonuses of both. This behavior is not intended. After updating to version 2.9, players will not be able to embark on a quest if two Rise of the Sinister Dominion quests of the same name are equipped to any adventurer on the team. Such worm prints will automatically be unequipped during maintenance on the 24th. So, essentially what they're saying here is that if I go and look at my flame team currently, this flame team right here, and I go to their second slots, actually they don't have any, I guess I never added them. This is my Sinister Dominion team. So if I go and look at this, you'll notice that I have on Mask of Determination and Mask of Determination. I will now no longer be able to have both of these on him. I'm going to have to do another thing. I'm going to have to use another print. And the thing is that there's so many with similar names. There's, you know, Her Beloved, which has a similar name. I believe this is the same thing. It's just straight up a change to the, like, emblem. There's this, which has different names, which is also, I believe, two different abilities. Yeah, so these two are two completely different abilities. But you do have this other ability with the same, you know, same ability but on a different worm print name. So it's interesting that they're doing this. It seems like what they're trying to do is they're trying to give each type of worm print a eventually give them a like a boon effect. So, and like the emblem effect, while also having different effects of different worm prints on similar worm prints. So a really big thing currently is to equip these two onto the same adventure in water, because if I go and look at my Nurse Eileen on wherever, I don't know where she is. I had a team with Nurse Eileen on it. I know I did. I have to find it. Is it here? I don't know where it is. One of the big things about Nurse Eileen, I'll just talk about it. One of the big things about Nurse Eileen is that she needs burn res. And you can actually slot in burn res and a green emblem onto her with those two abilities, and it allows her to get 100% burn res and keep the 15% buff time bonus from the staff spoon. So, you know, it is a pretty big. Maybe I'll actually just equip it here. I think I saved it in the Warden Print deck, so let me check. Maybe I saved it on her. Let's go to a team and see if I can find it. It's just a pretty cool effect to see when you're looking at, you know, these worm prints, that there are certain combinations that were not intended that came out that people found that may have been a little bit too strong, that needed to be adapted. And that's it's a bit unfortunate that it is the way it is, but yeah, here it is. So, you know, you can keep this. Actually, oh no, this is actually stun res. Okay, never mind. But either way, the point still stands. You know, there is strength in these worm prints, and if she did need burn res, if she was a unit that or rather needs stun res, like for example Zhongzi, if I put this set on Zhongzi and I switched this out with this, and I switched this to this, for example, she has stun res now. But now in the future, she can't keep this set anymore because she is going to be unable to be able to use two worm prints of the same name, and I'd have to slot into skill damage instead, which is a bit unfortunate. But it is, you know, it's the system that we have, and we have to deal with the system that we have, and it was a bit of meta abusing at the time. So I understand why these changes were made the way they were. It's just a little bit interesting for me to see them, you know, kind of regress back on them. As far as the rest of the update goes, there isn't too much. It's just a bit of update fixes, you know, things like the way glitches in boss fights in Jadabaoth and in Twins, and then issue with Child Ronzol. So, all in all, I think this update's going to be interesting. I think it's going to be kind of lackluster, except for the worm print change. But I do think that there's enough here to warrant a version update, and I'm looking forward to it. Especially looking forward to be able to get a free summon ticket after I would be presumably summoning on either the 100th day anniversary event or the current gallery mix. So yep, that's going to be it for me for today. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please make sure to like and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time.